Hello and welcome to Chess Book Reviews 161. I'm going to look at some recent British magazines with a view to actually looking how they look. In other words, not necessarily diving into them in any depth, but looking at what you might see on a newsstand. Let's have a look, shall we? This is quite, dare I say it, and I'll probably get into trouble for saying this, American-y. It does have taglines at the bottom. The World Rapid and Blitz Team Chess Championships, Norway Chess, Drama, Dominance, and the Race Against Time. So it does tell you what you're getting. It says at the top, the world's oldest chess journal, which it is. And it says volume 145, which is correct. So, in essence, just about everything appears to have been covered. It does show some chess pieces and a fist coming down, or possibly having come down, being retracted. Pieces flying about all over the show. On the back, there's an advert which appears fairly regularly, showing you how to subscribe directly, which obviously they want. And if we look inside, it has a masthead and the articles begin. So that's nice and straightforward. Nothing to frighten us to death. If we go a little further in, we see some photographs, a little bit small in a way. I mean, if you just strolling through, I know that the format is modest anyway, but nevertheless, I think that's a little bit distant, isn't it? You can't instantly say you know what that is or where that is. You don't, you can't. But for all of that. So there we are. That's the July issue. Let's crack on. Now, here's always something of interest. Map of the British Isles. Tournament reports, English Open Championships, Scottish International Open, and South Wales International. In other words, it goes into the regions and England's neighbour countries. The quiet resurgence of chess in the UK. Not sure really, don't quite know what that is. You can look within. After all, that's what they want you to do. But we're getting some benefits from COVID. God knows we all have suffered, and some died, of course. Here's an interesting bit of artwork. I mean, they could offer this as a poster. How about that? Houses of Parliament at the back. And Big Ben. Move by move. Britain plays again. The same advert on the back. It's a bit of a shame just to see the same advert. Perhaps it would be nicer to put another one on. But nevertheless, I think that's okay. It says on the quotes and queries, storm on the flank, early gambits and forgotten battles. There we are. That's Mr. Alan Smith's contribution. Always like that. When I was editor, Alan Smith was a good guy. Here we have something old-fashioned. We actually see a man sitting in front of a chess set. Looks like wooden pieces as well. Yes, I think so. Danny Resch, not Adams, wins the 9th British title. In generational clash, the veteran holds off a new wave of prodigies in Liverpool. Well, it's not strictly true, is it? Because the three people who contested the British Championship after 9 rounds were Stuart Conquest, who is in his 50s, Peter Robertson, who's in his late 30s, and Tricky Mickey himself. But it's an eye-catching headline. And there were, of course, a lot of very strong players, little children in it. Little children, that sounds so patronising. You know what I mean. Juniors. There's an article here, did Shakespeare play chess? I think the answer to that question, rather than read the article as yet by Grandmaster Raymond Keane, OBE, is that he probably was aware of the moves of the pieces, but possibly didn't play competition games or even spend hour upon hour worrying about it too much. An article about various unusual chess sets, some of them looking African and a bit obscure. It's the sort of thing that you might have as a decoration, as opposed, a nice chessboard or chess table for that matter, with the pieces on it, and it takes up a bit of space in your living room. And it's Celia Brabinovich, and it takes up a little bit of space in your in your living room, as I was saying, and is there purely for decoration. And what could be nicer? This is Ben Jonson and Shakespeare playing chess. There they are. The two playwrights. Now, this cover is slightly more low-key, isn't it? Poetry and drama and Samarkand. Poetry and drama. Everything you need to know about the historic Fide Grand Suisse. And so we carry on. A picture of Keith Arkle, one of the great standard bearers of British chess, Grandmaster Arkle. Believe you me, if you outplay Keith Arkle in an ending, you're a strong player. You're either Keith Arkle's opponent and playing at 2600 level, or don't go into an ending against him. Try and beat him in the middle game. If he hears my saying that, and he possibly will, all I can conclude is he'll laugh and be complimented. He'll laugh and be complimented. Just looking through. On the back, there's another advert, but not the same one, which is nice, for its tournament in Sligo, a cultural festival, 30th of January to the 8th of February. In other words, a mixture of tournaments, all of them in Ireland, Sligo. Treating everyone like a professional. There's a weekender, a 9-round open, a blitz open, and a rapid open. And they will help you with accommodation and registration information. Chess in Ireland has always been a welcome aspect of the British game, easy to overlook it. There we are. Now here we get a bit dark. It's a king, and it's What? Falling apart, crumbling apart? From sport to spectacle, where does chess draw the line? Has the chase for fame and recognition turned chess into show business? No, it hasn't. How far can a game go before it stops being chess? I don't think they quite mean that literally, and I'm the sort of person that takes everything literally, but for all of that. And here's the FIDE president in the middle. FIDE and Norway Chess create a revolutionary world championship format. Just quickly looking through. Here's the same design which is on the cover. Again, I'm talking about the match between the USA and India. Believe you me, I bet that was an interesting match. Nakamura threw his opponent's king into the audience. Not sure I approve of that, but I don't disapprove. And if I was there, unless I was asleep, and I frequently am asleep, I don't think I would do anything other than try and catch it. Quotes and Queries, Forgotten Flames by Alan Smith. I mentioned him earlier, didn't I? Give some old games by Bruce Hayden, a lovely writer who sadly no longer with us, but a lovely writer. And here's the December issue. I haven't got the January one yet. It'll be coming along. Here we have, sadly, a cover, but without any chess pieces apart from the knight and the shield up in the corner. Back with a bang. So, yes. I look within. We don't have Christmas company. The Christmas message from BCM. Christmas suits chess. The days are short, the evenings stretch out, and, in more traditional settings, a wooden chessboard with weighted and felted pieces may find their place on the table or desk. Well, maybe. May I take this opportunity to thank all our readers, contributors, organisers, arbiters, and advertisers for their loyalty, support, and encouragement in the past year. On behalf of everyone at BCM, I wish you a happy holiday season, a prosperous new year, and all success in your games over the festive period and beyond. In other words, there's no mention of the word Christmas, although there is in the title. I think that's fair enough. And here are some photographs, having criticised the ones in the other issue, of individuals, and they're very clear. And it's nice to see the success of the young masters, young grandmasters, I'm sure. So there we are. An article about Coventry International by Sean Talbot. An article by Ray Keane about Napoleon Goethe and the game of intellect. I'm not certain I really want. Begins by quoting the Bible and gives a game between John Sugden, Gus to his devoted friends, and Ray played for, in the end, what unites these figures, soldier, scholar, and artist alike, is the belief that intellect itself is an act of courage. Chess, war, poetry, and science are often different forms of the same eternal game. Although its board may change from Austerlitz to Weimar, from Moscow to Dulwich, the object remains to strive to know and to create order from chess. And he gives a game played in Dulwich College between John Sugden and Raymond Keane. Now, I'll just conclude with a bit of fun. You don't have to take this bit seriously. Don't take any of it seriously, but don't take this bit seriously. Here's a picture of Fidel Castro. And who do you think that is with him? You know? It's Ray Keane. Thank you for listening. This has been Chess Book Reviews 161. I'm James Pratt. Please like and subscribe. Very important. Down there. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.